Well, good morning and welcome to Soulbirth here on Edge Radio Australia. It is absolutely my pleasure to be here with Faye sitting over
Good
there.
morning,
Got the
Aaron.
laptop on. You're
Oh,
all
look, I'm
organised.
laid back here.
It's so professional.
Is it?
My word.
Oh, geez,
yeah.
is that what I've been missing all these weeks?
Yeah, it is. It is 100%. Absolutely awesome to have you here as always.
Thank
ready.
you, Aaron. You too.
Yeah, ready
That's
for a
always-
bit of a soul-filled morning.
Yes, and one thing is missing though.
What's that?
You're not wearing your colourful shirt.
I know. I do have them in the other room. If need be, I can race out and get one. If that's going to change things, it's going to be all right. It's getting
That's
warmer.
okay.
It's getting
It
into
is, it
the
is.
nicer
It's
sort of
nice,
weather.
isn't
So, yeah, got to get the old T-shirt on this one.
It is. It's lovely to be warming up a bit, which is lovely, and wrapping up the year. It's coming to a close really quickly, isn't it?
It is. It's
mid-October already.
Oh, look. Well, hang on. I mean, the Christmas decorations have been in the shops for about 4 months now. So, yeah, we're almost
I
there.
can't believe they bring them out so early.
Oh, drives me nuts.
Mm.
All right. Now, what is the subject of today's show?
Well, interesting you should ask that, Aaron.
Funny I do that.
You do, don't you, every week? So today, it's a really important, pivotal moment, I think, at the moment, because as you know, as from previous episodes, we are in a 9-year where everything is coming to a close, finishing up, whether it's for a short time or a long time or whatever, but it's about this rebirth happening. And the number 9 is all about, endings, completions, whatever. And then the number 1, which is next year, is new beginnings. So in line with that and everything that's been going on in my life, it's time for a bit of a reset, a little bit of a time to go inwards and to complete a lot of things. So in line with that, today's show is a little bit different in that we're just going to be talking about all the shows that have been before, because we've covered a lot of ground.
This is okay. We might have to set aside 4 hours here.
Yeah, I know. I think so.
We've covered a lot over the last year. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, because I'm going to take a little sort of rest and reset myself because I've got a lot of things I need to also complete before the end of the year. I feel like there's an urgency around the completions, and then who knows what the next year will bring. But for now, I thought it would be really nice to recap everything that we've covered.
This is very interesting. On a personal note, you said the 9-year thing, right?
Yep.
Now, I've actually had a very significant 9 years.
Have you?
This 9 years has been very, very significant in my life, right? And it's strange because in the last few months, I feel like that has been coming to an end.
Yes.
Like I feel like that there is a new chapter. I really honestly do. It's and I don't normally think that way.
Things are changing, Aaron.
I know.
The time I've known you.
The times they are changing,
all these
and
things that
therefore
you never thought about.
It's true. It's true. But it's nice to open your mind to these things.
It is.
And the old story, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
Well, by surrounding yourself by very positive people who bring things into your life, you start to look at things in a different manner. And it's a great thing. I'd encourage you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And most people I speak to at the moment are also in the same boat, saying how, so many things are coming to a close. You're starting to rethink things. A lot of people finishing up in maybe jobs or professions that they've been in for their whole life, and now they're wanting a change.
Right. That is a big change.
Yeah, so many things are changing. So, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? But the show Soulbirth is all about the soul's journey. So, as we've said, we're in this physical life to have an experience and to grow and evolve as a soul. And I think we are at a very pivotal point in humanity, actually, with a shift in consciousness as well. So we're ending all the old thinking, the old ways, the 3D, if you like. We're moving into this more 5D out there, open consciousness connected to our higher self. And I know this goes beyond your
No, that's a bit rough.
No, where you were last year.
Okay, all right.
See the journey that you've been on. I love this because you're a really good metaphor for what Soulbirth is all about, the journey that we go on and in opening and expanding.
I appreciate that. I've been called many things, never a metaphor before, so I'll take that very happily.
Well, it's a good metaphor.
You're
a great living example.
I see it as nothing but positive. No, well, look, I am a person I want to see the evidence. I've always been a guy, show me the proof, show me the receipts, and then I'll understand and I'll believe it.
You're living proof.
Well, yeah, basically by opening the door to other sides, if you like, and looking at things from a different perspective, it's certainly improved my life. There's no question about it. And like everybody has ups and downs, and life runs in cycles, I guess. But okay, like I've just said before about the last 9 years have been incredibly tough for me in so many ways, and also very positive. I mean, there's been a lot of very good fun in that, as well. So it's certainly not one-sided, but it is, by I don't know, changing attitudes, changing the way your perspective of the way you're looking at things. I'm coming out of the end of this cycle and thinking, I think things look all right. Things look all right. Future's so bright, you got to wear shades.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Shall I go to the other studio? I've got my old Ray-Bans in there. Away we go.
Wow, looks like we should be in the other room today.
We should be.
But it's part of the move too, hey?
Yep, dead straight.
But so in reflecting on those 9 years, do you find the hard parts that you've been through, because I think everybody can do this as well, reflecting on the period of time that we've been through, you look back at those difficult times, the challenging times, and, there was a gift in each of those, wasn't there? So coming out the other end, you think, wow, what did I learn from that?
I mean, sometimes the gift was, wrapped in some pretty ordinary paper.
Yes, I know. Exactly, and hard
set
to
on
get
fire.
to.
And some, maybe that bag may have been on my front doorstep on fire, but I think, adversity brings the best out in people, and it teaches the biggest lessons. When life is just cruise years and you're flying along and you don't have any adversity, guess what? You don't learn, you don't grow. So, as much as I would have liked the last 9 years to be a damn sight easier, I'm a better person for that, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy I've grown.
Yep.
Because I wouldn't want to be that same Aaron a decade ago.
And as a human, we would never be able to say that when you're in it, but when you're on the other side of it and looking back, you're grateful for for what it brought you.
Thoroughly agree. Yeah. Well, it brought me a lot.
As hard as it was.
Yeah. So took a lot away.
There's a lot of it did. Yes.
But at the same time, it opened new doors.
Yes, absolutely. And they're good doors. So it's all about going with the flow, isn't it? So going where the doors are opening and not where they're closing, because that's like spirit or, whatever, powers that be closing doors behind you that you don't need to go revisit anymore.
It is so true. I had a friend many, many, many years ago. I've spoken about him before, but he was without doubt the most irresponsible human being I've ever met in my life, right? Okay. Lovely guy, but so irresponsible. But he would just go, the universe will provide. And I'm like, mate, you can't do that. You can't. And guess what, though? The universe always provided.
There you go.
He just got away with it, left, right, and centre. So you just go and do something completely irresponsible. Think, the consequences. And I'm not recommending going out there and living like this, because I don't know how he got away with it. But at the same time, that was his journey. That was how he lived his life, and it worked for him. And at the time, I thought he was just an absolute loony for doing what he did. But now, when I look at it, I think to myself, well, no. Now I actually do the same to an extent. I go, no good stressing about this right now.
That's right.
Let's just ride this train, because it's going to come out the other side of the tunnel, right? It really is going to, okay? The universe will provide. So,
and that's part of the journey as well, because it's only as we go through these things and we finally let go, and I've had this journey too, where you've had to let go of all your preconceived ideas and you're wanting to, control everything. When you let go of that and you actually have deep faith and trust that the powers that be are actually leading you, or higher powers, there's something there that's controlling the way you go, and it has got your back. And when you actually let go and have full trust and faith in that, then things usually work out.
Like the man on the poster right behind you there, you've got to have faith. Okay?
There you go. There's always a song for everything, isn't there?
For everything.
That's what my dad says too.
Song or a car reference, you can sneak them in anywhere you like. All right, well, let's re-track over the last period and have a look at those things that we've talked about.
Absolutely, because we started the very first episode last year was all about the soul's journey. So we talked about this very thing, about how we're a spirit or soul coming in to have a physical experience.
That's right.
Then, what we're choosing to experience through our life and how it flows. So it's all about the journey on the way. And then moving from that is to our first experience coming into this life is through birth.
Yeah.
We talked about preconception, conscious conception, about how we can communicate with the soul that's waiting to come in.
I think just doing anything consciously makes a difference, right?
Does.
It could be drinking a terrible cup of coffee. It could be
mindfulness, isn't it? Mindfulness meditation is sitting with a cup of coffee and fully being present in that moment.
Yeah, being present in the moment, something we just don't do enough of.
Exactly.
So, no, you're right. I mean, it starts in birth. Well, it can start obviously before that with conception as well. And, it's, and we've talked about this, as I said, I think about, how do I say this without being, you can really, it's very interesting to look at personality types of, say, your own children, from where they came from in your life and where you were living at that time, as far as, like, when I say where you were living, not physically, but in a spiritual and intellectual place.
What your state of being was at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it does show up in their personalities.
It does, because
Yeah.
the baby in the womb, as we know, absorbs everything that's going on,
Mhm.
inside and around them, so and around the mother. So
Yeah.
what they're living outside of the mother is also being absorbed.
Because they are still living, right?
They
They're
are.
just in a different location. They're still just in a different room, so to speak. It's a room with a W. It's a womb.
It's a womb with
Yeah,
a zoo.
that's right.
Well, no view, as the
Not
case
a
may
great
be.
view, no. But they're experiencing life and they're taking it in and they're learning their lessons from that word go, right?
Absolutely. And epigenetics that we discussed as well is all about, laying the groundwork as well before they're born, so that, so that their building blocks are actually there. And I've likened it to, being an owner builder of a house.
Yeah.
When we're building the blocks of the house, putting down the concrete slab and then the bricks, and, checking in on it and making sure that they've done a good job. And if not, if it's not how you want it, then you knock it down and start again.
Yep.
I'm gathering.
Well, you do.
It's the same with the soul coming in. It comes and checks in on the body that's developing, and, the blueprint that's been created, and making sure that it's all set up for life they want it. And if they don't, then they let go of it and start again. So that's where we have miscarriages, so.
Which is a hard thing to talk about and a hard
is.
thing very much to experience. And I mean, actually, a little side step on that, but I think it's important. A close friend and I the other day were talking about abortion, okay, which is it's a heavy subject and everyone's got an opinion on it. Apparently some of us are not allowed to express our opinions about it because we're male, but I think men and women should talk about this sort of thing. And why I say that is that you said miscarriage, about, sometimes a baby coming into this world or not coming into this world, you could look at it from a spiritual angle, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was having this conversation with a very close friend, and it blows your mind how differently people can come at these things. Some people that you think are quite spiritual but aren't, or yeah.
But it's all again about the journey and where you're at in your journey and what your belief systems are, and they're formed from previously from people around you, from your parents, from the environment.
Yeah.
So, but that's all part of the journey too, and you may change your views and beliefs on things as you go through based on what experiences you have yourself.
Oh, true. Yeah, like I say a million times, I'm not the same guy I was 20 years ago, right? And I'm quite happy about. I kind of liked the guy 20 years ago. He's a pretty good guy. I liked him a lot. No, but at the same time, geez, what have I learned?
Yeah, exactly.
What have I learned? And I think we all need to do that. Maybe, and without sounding, I don't know, preachy, but step back and have a look, right? Sometimes step back and go, okay, what have I actually achieved over the last 5 years, 10 years, whatever. You set your own limits. But like to actually sit back and appreciate it, because when you actually look at it, you'll realize you've achieved a lot more than you actually thought you did.
Oh, absolutely. It's great to do a life review. I even do this at the end of each year.
Do you?
I do a little every New Year's Eve. I like to sit and do a little bit of a review of the year, because especially important when you've had a really difficult year, because you write down all the things that have happened that have been good, because it's really hard to remember them when you've had a really bad year. And you might want to write down the things that went wrong, but also write the things that went really well. And then it's really interesting to see that, oh wow, it wasn't actually that bad after all. It's just that you allowed the bad things to overshadow the good things, but there's such a long list of good things and things that you achieved. So you feel really good because you think, oh, I didn't think I achieved anything this year, but I actually did. I actually did a lot more than I thought, and I've had a great year actually. So going into next year, I can look at it from a different perspective.
So true. Do you know, like TV channels, how they do the retrospective at the end of the year around Christmas time? Oh, a lot of things happen during the year. Wouldn't it be actually really nice if we just actually did them, but only on the positive things? You know what I mean? Like, no, but you know what I mean? Like, okay, from a news point of view, I see what they're trying to do. They're getting
positive news.
Yeah, just do the positive news.
Which I think the news should be all the time anyway. Wouldn't it be great if news was completely switched around?
Yeah.
And we heard all the good news, good things that are happening in the world, rather than all the doom and gloom.
Oh, that's right. But that doesn't sell, as we know, all that kind of carry on, which is a bit horrible. But yeah, no, I mean, I'd like to know that, little Timmy from down the street, rode his bike 2 lampposts long. I mean, how good would that be? I mean, like these
celebrate milestones in life.
Yeah.
Which I've always been for. And another thing on that, I've always been one to celebrate my birthday and my kids' birthday. So when they were at school, I used to give them the day off school just so that We could do a one-on-one day with each other and
Good on you.
celebrate their birth. Because I always reminisce on their birthdays about, I'm right back there at the birth, remembering every little bit about the birth because, I had positive birth experiences, which I'm grateful for. So I love reminiscing and, thinking of the moment they entered the world, because that's the thing that gives me the greatest joy is actually seeing a baby arrive, and first look, that first eye
so life-changing.
contact. It's amazing.
Like there's no other feeling in the world like it. Nothing like it.
No, can't beat it. Yeah. So we've talked about all of that, haven't we? About the babies, sacred birth, creating beautiful sacred space for birth. We've talked about that first hour of life, how important it is, the golden hour to connect with the parents and the baby. Setting up again the blueprint for life, being in that little love bubble for an hour at least,
and celebrate that honestly.
Absolutely.
So again, this is the thing with everything that's going on in the world and in your world at that time, with all the noise and the other people involved and all the politics of childbirth. Just celebrate that time, because you don't get it again. I mean, if you have other children, you get it again, but it's a different experience with every child.
It is. And we even took a deep dive into when it doesn't go as well. When we don't get that first golden hour together because something happened, and you may have had quite a traumatic birth and been separated at birth, which has happened a lot, unfortunately, to women.
Very much
so. There's a lot of grief that goes with that, and a lot of deep healing that needs to happen. So we've kind of journeyed through all of that as well, and knowing that you're not alone and that there are resources out there, and you can always reach out for help.
Incredibly true. And I mean, there's a lot more babies who are born premature these days than ever before, which is a very positive thing.
Because that's because we're moving ahead with technology and we can keep them alive earlier.
Exactly right. Whereas, that wouldn't have been an option many years ago. Well, not that many years ago. It's been getting better and better. Yep. But then there's the other flip side of it where you're thinking, okay, that there's a great miracle of birth and the child, the baby is doing well and all that sort of thing. And you're struggling because they're little, but they're doing well. But mum and dad might be really struggling because they haven't had that bonding time.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So life's a balance. You've got to look at both and
exactly. And we went through all those, traumas of parents that parents go through when their baby's in the NICU, when it's on the ventilator or whatever, and you can't actually have physical contact, So what the things that you can do to actually maintain the bonding and connection with the baby and dealing with the grief about, this preterm baby that, didn't get that time with.
We've talked about that, which is a great thing. It's because I think the skin to skin time, and I mean, let's be honest, the smell of a baby. Well, sometimes the smell of a baby is the most beautiful thing.
It's a special smell. There's no other smell like it because they're covered in the vernix, the white pasty stuff.
Oh, I'm thinking a bit later. I'm not going to lie. No. For me, it's a couple of hours after that.
Vernix is precious.
Yeah,
we don't need to wipe it off either. We can keep it on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
we get absorbed anyway.
We've seen that. That's which is obviously that's the popular thing to do in hospitals.
Rub it all off with a towel. Please leave it on. The baby needs it, and it's it's really good moisturizer for their skin.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, you don't need to wipe it off.
All right. Well, let's okay. We'll reminisce away. What else have we talked about this year that you might want to...
and we went from birth to parenting. Talked all about sacred parenting, and how we can work with our children, and even tuning into our children and meeting their needs. Sacred parenting.
It's a huge thing, right? I mean, no matter what in life that you achieve, whether it sort of career-wise, financially, all these sorts of things, right? The relationship you build with your children is the most precious thing, and in my personal opinion. I think it's far more important, and controversial opinion here, but I think the relationship you build and the love you have for your children is more important than the one you have for your spouse. And I didn't always think that, but I think that, end of the day, it's such a sacred bond, and it should never be broken. Because we know how I feel about that. But it also needs to be appreciated and not taken for granted.
Oh, definitely not. It's a very different relationship to one that you have with your partner.
Yeah.
And then also sibling relationships as well. How they get on with each other and how that is all harmonised as well and nurtured.
Yep. Yeah. So. And that's right. And that comes down to a lot to the parents, obviously, how they nurture the relationship between the siblings. But then again, you get particular siblings who just no matter what are not compatible people. But
because we're all different and we all come in with different reasons for being here and what our role is, and we choose our families. That's one thing.
Well, again, when I say compatible, I'm not saying like being not compatible is not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Again, this conflict resolution and all that sort of
Exactly.
carry
We
on.
learn skills by not getting on with our siblings. We have to learn how to share and how to actually communicate and how to actually work things out. There's always a reason why things are the way they are, and the different challenges that we have. It's all about
generalizing 101 here. I mean, you look at people who have come from big families. Normally have better processes for conflict than only children. It's statistically been shown. And that's nothing. There's no slighting about only kids. It's the fact that if you're in a big family, you're constantly you are playing politics. You are in the middle of that game. So therefore, it's quite prevalent, I guess.
Definitely. Yes. So, and then there's all the tools, because we've talked about, and we've actually brought along lots of guest speakers as well to have on the show, which has been amazing. Been very blessed with the quality of, the people that we've brought into the show to share their skills with us, and talking about how it complements the whole birth journey and parenting journey, a life journey, basically.
And hearing these opinions too, it's also you're coming from different perspectives, so you'll see it differently. You'll actually learn something. The same information may have been in front of you for years and years and years, right? But it's not presented in a way that is kosher with you, right? So from that point of view, the guests have been just marvelous, and the feedback, by the way, that we've had behind the scenes, if you like, people contact us about the particular guests and shows has been really positive. So thank you for that. Thank you very much.
I'm really grateful to everyone who has come on as a guest, and in the future, when we return in the new year, we'll be getting new guests as well. So
I know. Just the new year. Look at you go. Just you're ready for the Bahamas.
Oh well, that'd be nice,
wouldn't
it?
Be? Yeah,
wouldn't it be lovely? Yes. But the new year. Who knows what New Year's going to bring? Hey. But lots of new things.
You said about the fact that New Year you look back and you spend that time to reflect, whatever. So at New Year's, I'm just thinking about shots.
Oh, really?
I'm teasing you. You should have seen the look on your face.
I believe that.
Oh, really? Really? Oh no, I'm an old man now. Jeez, no. Oh dear. No, I actually had a really I used to have a very romantic way, actually, as far as I'm concerned. I think it's romantic. Of New Year's. I like to finish the year kissing the girl I love and start the year kissing the girl I love.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. And I always found that was a positive way. And if that wasn't possible, it shows how it showed up in the next year, put it that way. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, it'd be interesting to know what the viewers do on New Year's Eve. What is their big thing?
Very curious. Put your comments in there. What do you get up to on New Year's? And whether it be, frivolous and silly, like many of the things I've done, or more soul driven, that'd be great to know.
Exactly, because I used to be more frivolous and silly when I was younger and go out partying and all that like you do. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I still do catch up with family on New Year's Eve, but I tend to not want to go driving out into the crowds because it's so busy all the time. But I do like to do the reflective thing, usually earlier in the night, so that my evening is free to celebrate with family. But I do like to actually reminisce about and reflect on the year and then plan out the year ahead, or do that on New Year's Day.
Not just sleep half of New Year's Day.
No, actually I usually get up now that I do park run. My sister cons me into getting up and doing women park run on New Year's Day, so got to get up early. This is not like the old me at all.
I don't understand these morning people. You're very strange. Oh, dear.
Anyway, we've had amazing guests and talked about lots of great subjects and all the complementary therapies that we can work in as well.
Right there, complementary. It's a big deal too, because a lot of the therapies we've been talking about, some of them are quite different, and the way they balance against each other, well, not against, quite frankly, with really, is pretty cool. I don't think you have to have all your eggs in one basket.
No, and I see a world where they actually can intermingle with, mainstream medicine, which is the way it used to be, where they work side by side and
did they
referred to one another. They did back before Pharma got involved.
Oh, okay. Good old Big Pharma. Not the good farmers. No. Oh, look, it's like anything. And I would hate to give people the impression that, I'm against everything as far as, a lot of medications keeping a lot of people alive, doing a lot of very, very good things. But at the same time, you can't be so dependent on it. And there's a great balance between modalities, isn't there?
Absolutely. And we need to also look at dietary things. And is a person getting out in the sunshine? Are they, getting the healthy lifestyle, about the exercise, the sleep, the good food, looking at all of that first and foremost before you go priming them with medications.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. When you go to the doctors, let's face it, the first thing they want to do is throw a pill down your throat, or a shot in your arm or whatever. How about maybe we kind of treat the cause, like go back a little bit and ask a few questions.
Yeah.
But when you go to the doctors, I believe it's a 6-minute appointment is what you actually get these days.
Yeah. We charge a double appointment.
Oh, exactly right. They'll never get me out in 6 minutes, that's for sure. But yes, in 6 minutes, it becomes quite factory-like,
It does.
Yeah.
I can see when you roll up, they'll be going, "Oh my God, here he comes again."
I think my doctor,
2 hours.
he knows. He books me in directly after his lunch. He's smart.
does he?
Yeah, absolutely. Just got a little extra time. He's cool. So.
Gosh, this is why there's now a move back towards more natural therapies, and naturopaths, and osteopaths, and all the different natural therapies, and complementary therapies, because they do complement the mainstream and more holistic view of living. So we've covered on quite a few of those over the year.
Yeah, I know with myself. Like, this is one where this is a modern medicine coming into more traditional therapies, I guess. But the chiropractic side, the difference that I had with my life when I started going back to the chiropractor, and these were sort of physical exercises and things and movements, whatever. There was no pills, there was no injections, and geez, felt pretty good. So yeah, a lot to be said for alternatives. Yeah,
and I swear by chiropractic care for babies, newborn babies, just to put their spine back in alignment after all that twisting and turning that they do during birth.
But it's very gentle, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, it's different to normal. It's no spine cracking or anything. Thank goodness. They use a very gentle method, more based on kinesiology.
Right.
Yeah, and also mums, it's great to have kinesiology or osteopathy or chiropractics after the birth as well, to get their pelvis back in alignment as well, because everything gets thrown out. Stretching and opening and twisting. So
there's a reason why women have babies, not men. I'll tell you what, we'd whinge about it for life.
You would.
We would. Well, it's very traumatic on the old body. Or the young body.
Even when you're just in there watching it.
Oh, jeez. The injuries I sustained.
And actually, that was another thing that we touched on was, partner support at birth, and support people as in doulas. And we've also looked at vicarious trauma, because even though, you may be just there watching or part of it, but you may also take on trauma from what you've witnessed. So we talked about that a lot. Yeah.
Something you've almost skipped over there, that's a big thing. The doula. The doula, I tell you right now, for me, a doula is now something that I would, I'm not having more kids, but if I was in that situation, I'd be insisting on a doula, I think, because, now knowing the difference they can make, and knowing the things that I didn't know before, and the things that myself and my wife were pushed into,
and that's invaluable support, isn't it?
Just huge. There. So undervalued. And so just not even known. So many people I would know in my life would never have heard of a doula.
No. And if you're going to have a hospital birth, it's really important to have someone by your side who actually knows how things work and who can be a spokesperson for you, that's not emotionally connected to you. He's not going to, get swayed at the last minute because of the death card being pulled.
The big scare. To me, a doula, honestly, to me, it sounded like a topping on a kebab. I'd never heard that name before in my life.
And now you do.
Now I do. And now I highly recommend them. And the pleasure of meeting a few too.
Yes.
And seeing different opinions. Because I think I'll make a very strange kind of analysis here, right? It's like if you're going to see a psychologist or a counsellor or whatever, finding the one that fits you is the way, is vital. Same with a medical doctor.
With anything.
Okay.
With a midwife. If you're having an independent midwife, shop around and get the one that actually resonates with you, because you're going to be together through thick and thin, and through a really important, pivotal moment of your life. You want to have someone who you feel 100% comfortable with.
Agreed. So spend the time. When you've got 9 months, it tends to fly by. But through sort of probably the 8 months of the period of the baby on their way, that you know of, it's time to get the prep done. Talk to the people, find the people who resonate with you, that have the same sort of values as you, and you can make the journey for you far smoother.
Exactly, and can support you through it as well when things don't go 100% the way you thought they would, because let's face it, birth is unpredictable. As we know, it very rarely goes the way we plan it to go, but it's about, once again, surrendering and going with the flow, just allowing things to move through, move the baby through the pelvis and open up, surrender, not hold on and block it. So.
Well, okay, even things like you were talking about the position, okay, of, most births, the woman's laying on her back or kind of thing, how unbelievably unnatural that is, right? Okay. And how I didn't know about the physical difference of what it does to your pelvis. Yeah. So you're actually making it harder for the baby to get out.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like, okay, just squeezing through the gate with the chain kind of half undone, it's, why wouldn't you make it physically as easy as possible?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think you loved that session when I brought in the pelvis and doll, didn't you?
I was blown away by that.
I showed it to you.
I didn't know about the little flexi bit. Look at that.
The tailbone, your coccyx.
Yeah, that's right.
Flips up, so, anybody who missed any of these episodes, you can always go back and watch any of these episodes on the podcast channel.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you got the audio podcast. If you don't want to be looking at us, I can understand that from my point of view, a bit rough, but okay, fine. But also, so you got the audio side, but you've also got YouTube. If you want to go and subscribe to a YouTube channel, you can actually go. Well, you don't have to subscribe, but lovely if you do. There's actually a playlist of so many that we've done over the last year, which should be really beneficial.
Because today, do you realise it's episode 54?
No, I did not. See, I don't keep track of these things. No, I just show up. I don't know. 54. Yeah. Wow.
So there's 53 other episodes you can go back and have a listen to.
Fantastic.
All filled with different information and resources. And
great.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, it was catered for people in all stages of life. But if you are pregnant or you're looking at getting pregnant, there's some great resources right there.
There are, exactly. And if you want to learn how to communicate with your unborn baby, whether they still haven't conceived them yet because they're still out there, or whether you've already become pregnant and you'd like to communicate with your baby and find out what they would like for this birth or for life or whatever, or what their soul contracts are, I'm the person. Contact me and I can help you with that, because that's one of my great passions, is communicating with the baby.
And you light up every time we talk about it, so it's a genuine passion.
Yeah, it is, absolutely, because it makes such a difference if we can communicate with our baby in the non-verbal ways. And this flows through everything in life, even with people who have someone in the family who's non-verbal. There are other ways to communicate with them.
What a great point.
So it's not just through birth. If you can learn how to communicate in this way, you can communicate with, people who are non-verbal, animals, pets, it's like endless, because we're all spiritual beings and we're all able to communicate on that other level.
Look, again, this is something I used to think was a bit of hogwash, right? And I mean, I think about, my relationship with my cat, and who, unfortunately doesn't live with me anymore, which sucks, but that's life. Yeah, I know, I hate it, but it's life. The fact that if things were going wrong or something was going up, that the little Penny, my cat, would come and say hello or alert us to this or alert us to that, or kind of carry on. And that's completely non-verbal. And
exactly.
Many years ago I would have thought communicating with an animal like that, it's hogwash. No, it's absolutely not.
True.
Yeah.
Animals are always communicating with us. Think of your dogs. I've got a couple of dogs. They're always talking to me in different ways. They just don't verbalize it. Or they do sometimes. They've got very interesting verbal abilities. But, if you can communicate with them on a soul level, then you can actually understand exactly what they're saying.
And the love you get from a dog, let's face it.
It's lovely. It's unconditional.
Exactly. With the cats, a bit different. It's cats.
It's on their terms.
It's on their terms. Yeah. You've got to understand that they're the owner. They own you. Yes.
They train their humans well.
They do. They do. But that comes down to the non-verbal thing. And when you're thinking to your child before they're born or even before they're conceived, look, I can see that as definitely an incredibly positive thing to put forward.
Absolutely. And then we've moved right through all of life as well, haven't we? Because there's been different things we've talked about, how we're all energy and how we connect with the greater network of energy as well. So which is how this communication happens as well, because once you tap into this network of energy, it's like a highway of energy that you can be anywhere and communicate in any way.
Yeah, you can, absolutely. And you tend to, if you do improve your energy, you improve the people that come into your life. You improve your communication with others. You improve your ability to cut through adversity. Just understanding that energy and realizing that harnessing it when it's good.
Absolutely. And how to raise our frequency as well. So if we can keep our energy high and stay in more of a love vibration than a fear and trauma vibration, then it makes all the difference in the world. It keeps us out of that low vibrational frequency, which attracts more of that, because like attracts like. So if we stay in this low vibrational state, we're going to attract more and more of that. Whereas if we're in a high vibe state, that's what you'll attract.
Yeah.
So it's a choice, really.
Very much so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've travelled through quite the journey, and I don't want to race to the end, but we've even talked about death.
We have.
I mean, come on. I know. Yeah. But I mean, and we've had a couple of now death doulas.
End of life doulas.
End of life doulas. Yes. Death doulas.
But that's, some people call them death doulas, some people call them end of life doulas, but there's a doula for every stage of life, basically. So, which is somebody who's there to support you, hold your hand through, whether you're
where's my middle-aged doula then? Come on. Come on. Jeez. If ever
Aaron is putting out a call here now on the radio, on Edge Radio Australia. You heard it first. Aaron is looking for a doula to support him in life.
Yes, a middle-aged support doula would be great. But geez, if there's ever a time in life you need one, I was actually literally saying to a friend last night, because a friend of mine, female friend, she's going through some tough times, okay, and I said to her, look, I said, don't worry, just understand that the first 50 years of childhood are the toughest. Yeah. Right? Then you'll be fine after that.
There you go.
So so she's about 44 or 45 around that neighborhood. So still well, it's just a baby. Yeah.
So there you go. Well, there you go. So friends are doulas, aren't they?
Very much so.
Or counsellors.
And that's actually a really good point. Very lovely to, when people are going through tough times, you reach out.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you know what? Here's a crazy idea. Why don't you reach out to people when life's going well as well?
Yes, absolutely.
We don't do that though.
It's all about communicating, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Like people contact me or I contact them, whatever. This two-way thing when things are going badly. But how often do I ever get on the phone and go, I don't know, I'm going to use my mate Shane. So, g'day Shane, I'm going to use your example. I ring and say, Shane's my one of my absolute closest mates and love him to bits, and he's one of my car mates. And I don't come and go, hey mate, the car's going great. Da, da, da. No, I don't do that, right? You don't do that.
Right.
We should do that.
Yeah.
We should. Why don't we contact and sort of share a bit of joy?
Absolutely. And like I said before, I'm all about celebrating all the good things, birthdays and stuff, but it doesn't stop there. It's like anytime you have a win in life, and it could be big or small, whatever, it's great to share that with somebody, because it helps to lift not only you but the other person as well.
And we live in a world right now where a lot of people are living alone. A lot of people don't feel that they have people to share with. And little tip, you do. You really genuinely do, whether it be, and like it's just a case of taking that action and going, whether it be friends you haven't seen for a while, it could be work colleagues, which work colleagues can very much become friends, can often become family. So just be open to it, I guess, and and move move that way.
Yeah.
Now, what other little notes have you got? So you've got a computer, so you're official, right?
Okay. It means I haven't actually looked at it that much.
You haven't looked at it?
A little bit, not much. But
look, I've got a Post-it note. That's what I've got here. You see, that's what. Have you looked at the notes on my Post-it note?
There's a lot on there.
There's absolutely nothing written on there, but there we go. It's there just in case I need to prod my memory.
Yeah. No, I just have it there because I might look intelligent,
Good to have the props, right?
It is. Yes, I didn't remember to bring my baby today and pelvis, so
yes, I know.
Have been good
just let's wind the clock back a little bit. Like when you showed me that thing about the coccyx and how it moves back. Like, as a dad, as a man, I didn't know that, right? And that makes so much more sense now.
Yeah.
Now, like as far as pain that is involved in childbirth or discomfort or whatever you want to call it, I'd call it pain. If men, no, not just men, just people in general, if we knew more, geez,
Yeah, that's why I'm all about education, and why when I run my classes, I always talk about the pelvis. I always have my props there, because once people understand how the body actually works, it makes all the difference in the world. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And so why would you be on your back giving birth? Because nothing can operate the way it's meant to be.
So true.
Why don't we get out there and show these things? And
from it, like I look at it like an engineering or a mechanical point of view, and I looked at it and thought That's the dumbest thing ever. Why in the world would you be literally closing the old garage door?
Yes.
Makes no sense.
Exactly.
It makes no sense. A position it's going to be more natural. And you were talking about, I remember you were saying about people in mums in Papua New Guinea, right?
Yes, yeah.
Who would give birth standing up and all of that.
Squatting. They just squat on the lawn out the front of the hospital and have their baby, or they walk in from the village for days to come in and have their baby, and then they wouldn't get up on the bed. They'd just squat, with fully clothed and just say, "Oh, baby, come, and there's a baby."
That's cool. I mean, it is cool as hell.
Yeah, and it just showed to me, like it imprinted to me how natural and normal birth is, and how complicated we make it.
We're Westerners. We love to complicate everything, don't we?
It put everything into the total opposite of what it should be for birth to flow easily.
Completely agree.
And why have a bed there? I've always said to people, you can change the environment around. If you're going into hospital, change the room around. You can put the bed to the side, put the mattress on the floor, dim the lights, take in a few things that you want to take in, have a few signs up to keep people out. Make it your space and give birth, because then you can be anywhere or do anything. You don't have to stay in the room. You can walk around. You can be in the bathroom.
That's right. Well, hey, here's another idea. You could have birth at home.
You could.
Or a birthing centre, all of these sorts of things. I mean, I think if I wound the clock back, I'd be very pro birthing centre. I really think I would be. I don't know about home, but
everybody's different.
Yeah, it's personal.
It's only a small percentage of women that choose home birth, and I've had 2 of my babies at home. And
there you go. So you're pushing the numbers up.
So,
Look at you go.
And for me, it was what I loved. Because my first one was in a hospital, my second was in a freestanding birthing centre with an independent midwife. Then my third and fourth were both at home, and that progression worked for me. So if I'd only had one baby, it would have just been a hospital birth.
That's right.
Whereas I had 4, so I got to have everything, and I had water births and lotus births, and I've done it all.
You did the whole Whitman sampler, a bit of taste of everything there. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's very interesting from my point of view. I mean, all my kids were born in hospitals, and they were very positive experiences. I think the hospitals did rather well, actually. But yeah, I do. I think the birthing centre, has that nice kind of compromise between the two. I think the hospitals can become very clinical, As I say, I was probably a little bit lucky because I knew a couple of people and it kind of made things a bit handier. You're going through the hospital process, but it's different when. I mean, I know a lot of women who have had births at some of the hospitals in Perth, some of the I don't know, they're older hospitals, and they're not overly pleasant experiences, to put it mildly. And it should be. It should be an incredibly joyous occasion. Yeah.
But we need different facilities for different women who want different things. Have all different options available. And ever since I had my birth at the freestanding birth centre, I've always wanted. That's been one of my passions in life, is that one day I'll be instrumental in helping create a freestanding birth centre, much like the one I birthed in there, that is independently owned and run, so that it has total control over its how it works.
But by you sitting here and having this conversation and sharing it with the world, that's a catalyst that in itself. Like if you're getting more and more people to think about these particular things, look at these alternatives. More and more people get behind it, and these things grow. So, whether you like it or not, you're making it happen just by stepping up and taking action.
Yeah, because I see that as a way for all women to birth where they want, in a beautiful sacred space where they can create whatever they want, and and even in different countries where it can fit with the culture, or even here, make them culturally appropriate.
Yeah, good point.
So just create different centres around the way, and there are so many people now wanting change and looking to move outside of the mainstream. So
true.
It's time. It's perfect time now. So anybody who's out there that's thinking the same way, please contact me.
I like that. At soulbirth.com.au.
Yes, exactly.
Is there a .au?
There is a .au.
There you go.
So yes, it's my website, or you can just email me, faye@soulbirth.com.au, if you want to contact me and have a chat.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to as well. Last year we had Vicky on the show, who is a doula, who was talking to us about doulas, but she was creating her first pregnancy, birth, and postpartum expo.
Hey,
and
hey,
it
hey.
went really well. I had a stall there and I loved it. So many great people there to
remember that.
connect with. Had a blast, and it's coming up again on the
Oh,
9th.
really?
Yeah, on the 9th of November. It's here again in Perth.
Just around the corner.
Yeah, it is. I know. I just nearly died last night. I looked in my diary and thought, my God, that's less than a month away.
Oh, right. Well, I'm
Gosh.
I'm at an expo on this Saturday.
Oh, I know you are.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
That's
So there's
right.
a lot going on at the
There
moment.
is a lot going on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Look, people are looking at alternatives. I think this 9-year cycle,
Yeah,
is a
exactly.
bit, I think there's a lot of people. I think more people have been woken up to the reality of what's happening on Earth and their life and their responsibility and all of this and their part in all of this over the last 9 years, or certainly the last 6 years than any other time. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's a rebirth. So I'm looking at that. Okay, so we're running our cycle out. Okay, our 9-year cycle.
We are.
So do I wake up January 1 and everything's just rock and roll?
I doubt it. You'll probably be sleeping your head off.
I will be sleeping my head off.
Celebrating.
Absolutely, very true.
Yeah. But I'm hoping to have wrapped up a few things. So, I'm passionate about finishing a few projects, as I said, which is why I need to have a little bit of a reset at the moment, because I started writing a book back in 2019 about healing birth trauma. And I got it nearly finished. It was just an editing phase. But when I started proofreading it, it started like triggering all my trauma that I've witnessed around this, even though I've never had birth trauma myself because I had 4 beautiful births.
But you watched a lot of it.
I've witnessed so much over my 37-year midwifery career. And so it started triggering all the traumas, which led me to talk about vicarious trauma on the show. And so now I feel like I'm ready to finish my book, and I need to get it done.
Get it done.
Because I feel like it's blocking my energy, my chi flow. So, and I've felt this like heaviness, this guilt that I've carried, that I haven't finished it. Because it needs to get out.
Aren't we funny though? We feel this guilt for things we haven't achieved.
I know.
It's almost like taxing unrealized, profits. But anyway,
I know. But I need to finish it because people invested in me to, they backed me. And I need to get it out to, and thank them for their support, and also just to get it out there because women need to hear this.
Thoroughly agree.
It's about healing their birth trauma, whether you're a woman who's given birth or a birth professional who's witnessed and carrying vicarious trauma.
All right, challenge to you. All right, okay, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to look down the barrel of the camera here. No,
dear.
How about when we start shows next year, right, that you will actually have the book and you can hold it up in front of you right
That would be good.
How about we do that?
Okay,
how about we make that the goal?
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. Oh, and I'll probably have lots of witnesses now to that.
Lots and lots of witnesses, exactly. Now, I'm going to end the show because I'm about to sneeze, and I think we should probably jump out of this. Thank you so much for being part of the show. It's absolutely a pleasure, and we'll see you very, very soon. Can I just say
thank you so much too for having me here and being able to run this show to
absolutely
reach
my
all
pleasure.
Our beautiful audience out here every week. So, and thank you to all the wonderful guests that we've had so far.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Soulbirth here at Edge Radio Australia.